Soundwaves KPFK, 90.7 FM LA, 98.7 FM Santa Barbara. I'm your host, Abraham Beltran, and we have my man
Gomez comes alive.
Yes, indeedy. So Gomez, thank you, brother, first and foremost, for coming through. Tell the good folks at home what it is that you do.
I am a musician and a DJ. Play around town, different spots here and there.
I got you. How long have you been making music for, man?
Close to 20 years, 20 plus years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Still grinding.
Yep.
After 20 years. Pay attention, kids. Hard work will get you everywhere in LA like this man. So what all do you do, man? I mean, you've got spots everywhere. I mean, what are you doing in a typical week?
Well, I got a band called Monte Carlo 76. I play keyboards for that group.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing bass with a rapper named Olmeca.
Okay.
I DJ at different spots. Footsies in Highland Park on Sundays. Got a club called Anda, which happens every second Thursday at Mounds Bar. Cumbia and salsa and Brazilian stuff and all that sort of things. Another club called Rebellion. It happens every third Thursday, and that's just whatever we feel like playing.
I got you.
Yeah.
So you're sitting in front of a piano. I imagine you know what to do with that thing.
Somewhat.
Right there.
Piano's not my first instrument. I'm a bass player by trade, and with Monte Carlo and my previous band Slow Rider, it was always a problem of finding a keyboardist who do the right thing. And then I was just like, you know what, I'll do it.
Right.
And I kind of, that's the way I've always been on things. That's how I learn anything.
Right.
Whether it's recording or DJing or anything. I'm just like, I'll try it.
So when did you first start playing bass? At what age?
I was 16. So that was quite a long time ago. I don't even want to
We're not saying how old he is. 28-ish. Do the math. So what? How did your fascination for the bass come about, man? In particular, the bass.
Well, I was trying to learn guitar, and one day my buddy left his bass at my house, and I just started playing along to records, and I just had a love for it. I loved it, and I just couldn't stop playing to the point where I didn't want to do anything else. I didn't want to play sports. I didn't want to hang out with my friends. I just wanted to play the bass, and that's kind of hold myself up from age 16 to about 19, and before I started going out and playing with bands.
Well, because I've seen you play bass and you definitely get down, but do you think that's kind of like the mark of a musical champion? Is just like an almost obsessive dedication to their craft? I mean, do you think you can get as good as you've been having put in less time?
Well, I think you need to have both. You need to have the dedication to learn it, and you need to have a good time with doing it. Because it's a lot of people do things and they don't have any fun doing it, and that's
right.
the problem. I see that with musicians and with DJs. They're just like, oh, I gotta do this,
right.
and it reflects in their music.
Right.
Because it turns out that you can sense that they don't really enjoy what they're doing, right. Even though they're really good.
Speaking of DJing, since you are a master DJ, what is your take on Serato and the whole digital DJ thing?
The way I look at everything, the end result is always the better, it's the best result. If you are a vinyl junkie and you can rock the house on vinyl, cool.
Right.
If you are if you're into Serato and stuff like that, that's great too. As long as the end result is that you can, be rocking the house. That's all it is. I mean, music changes. It's the evolution of music. It's we went from acoustic instruments to electric instruments. We go from vinyl to CDs to digital downloads. So it's all about what works for you and what's going to work. I don't, horses were. I tell my friends the horses were really great, but it's like, would you rather have a horse or a car?
Yeah, because you never really hear that.
Yeah,
you went to the post office, man, Pony Express. Like no one's
exactly.
still using.
Exactly that.
What now? Kind of hand in hand with people not evolving their mediums of doing the music, digital DJing, or not getting down with the MP3s. How do you think that those that are kind of reluctant to embrace these new methods of self-marketing, do you think they have a chance of surviving or not really in this day and age?
Well, it all depends. I also feel that you can't just, you got to kind of do everything.
Right.
you go for the digital downloads, but you still got to go out and like if you're trying to promote yourself, you do all the digital stuff, but that's just not it. You got to go out to the clubs, you got to promote yourself, you got to pass out flyers, you got to do all that sort of stuff. You got to be out there, you got to be playing, you can do all the promotion in the world, and if you're not that great of an artist, it will reflect on that. Right. So you have to do everything. Everything's got to be at a balance, and as well with with music, and your instrumentation. It's like if it's easier for you to use Serato, then do it.
Right.
If it's easier for you to use vinyl, great.
Right.
It's all what works for that person,
Right.
But it's also about evolution. If you're just like, no, I'm only going to use vinyl, you're only going to play what's available on vinyl,
right.
and that's it. It's only going to grow to a certain point.
You're kind of handcuffing yourself.
If you're only in digital, you're not going to have a lot of great old stuff.
Right.
That people have. So you just got to find that balance. What works for you? What works for your music?
Well, he'll be the last to tell you because he's a very humble guy by nature, but this man has found the balance. He's a hustling machine, and he's also one hell of a musician. So Gomez, again,
thank you very much.
Thank you, brother. And where can they find you online?
MySpace / Gomez Comes Alive.
And we'll have links to that on the website again. And you also just played 2 tracks for us on episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have a link to that as well, link to the website, all that. Thanks again, brother. And again, catch us, Soundwaves KPFK.wordpress.com. And you can catch us on the MySpace, the newly updated MySpace, myspace.com/Soundwaves KPFK. I'm your host, Abraham Beltran, my man. Gomez Comes Alive. Peace.